In the dark shadows, in the white cold, fearlessly we search for knowledge new and old. We drink the strong spirits and read the ancient tomes. The order of the Abracast. We are the brave and the bold.
All right, we are thinking about the state of, let's limit it. We're thinking about the state, the country of America for the time period of March 23rd, 2020. I'm shuffling the cards here. Okay, so the state of America, March 23rd, 2020. Let's shuffle them here one more time. And then I'll explain what we're doing here. March 23rd. Okay.
The Abracast. Occult, history, conspiracy, and violence.
The party's over. The fire is dying down. The music is low. All the normies went to bed already. Passed out. Chicken shits. We are the only ones left. All right. Recording straight down the pillar of severity in the ritual space deep underneath the Stigmata Studio buildings located in the heart of the Steel City. I am John Towers, and this is the Abracast. So, I had this idea because I know there's a lot of us who are doing social distancing. Their places of business aren't open. Maybe even quarantined. I don't know. So, there's a thing out there where I'm worried that people don't have enough things to concern themselves with. And I've been asked, well, what is your advice? And my first bit of advice has been during this whole thing to turn your TV off. Stop. If you don't turn your TV off, at least stop watching the news, because it's all hype. I mean, not all hype, but it's a lot of hype. It's all hype. So the first thing I did is I made one of my comic books, graphic novel, really. I'm going to pat myself on the back. Available on my website to download. It's like 300-page graphic novel called The Jinn Jihad. And I made that available to download for free. I've busted it out so it's 6 chapters, and there's a prologue and an epilogue. So I busted them out by chapter to help you pace your way through it, so you can read like a chapter or so every day. And then I also thought, well, what am I going to do with all this extra time? And we're going to do a thing, because I'm saying turn off the TV, turn off the media. How are we going to know what's going on in the world? So this is how we're going to track the end of the world, everybody. Cyrus, so you're with me. This is how we're going to do it. Tarot cards. I'm going to do a tarot card spread. Now, I've mentioned on the show multiple times, probably dozens of times, that I've never read tarot cards. I know them forwards and backwards in the academic sense. So I thought it would be fun for me to actually do tarot readings, right? So I'm going to do a basic 10-card spread, and you guys will get to hear me struggle through trying to interpret these cards. So these episodes, I have been thinking about calling them Quarentarot episodes. So that's what we're going to do. So I shuffled the cards with intent. I've been thinking about the date, March 23rd, 2020. I'm going to just lay these cards out here. All right, here we go. There is the first card. Okay, that's all right. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then if I'm correct, these go up 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. Put those cards back. Okay. Quarentarot has begun for March 23rd, 2020. Our first card here is The World, which is the last card in the third septenary. You guys are wondering where I'm getting all this stuff, just go in the back catalog there. Go to the feature topic link and find the tarot card section. There's many hours of me talking about tarot cards on there. So the first card represents it's the significator. Okay, so basically this is in our experiment here. The world is the world, or what did I say? I said it was the state of the country on March 23rd, 2020. So it's interesting. It's interesting, right? So it's about the macrocosm and the microcosm. Maybe America's fate is linked to the world. The macrocosm and the microcosm, that is to say God and creation, or the law of absolute. The 4 figures placed on the 4 corners represents the 4 letters of the sacred name of the 4 great symbols of the tarot. Between the sacred words that signify God, and in the center, and the figure is in a circle or an ellipsis representing nature, or a regular or fatal course. This comes from the name of rota, or the wheel. It is the at the center of the figure represents humanity, Adam and Eve, the third term of the great series of the Absolute, which, okay. All right, so that's where we are. That's kind of like our status quo. I'm going to flip the second card over here, and that's the card that covers the world. And it is the Knight of Swords. So this is a card of action. It's a card of, it's a card of action. It's a card of a military man, of combat and defense and opposition, destruction, ruin, hatred, feuds, wrongs, avenging wrongs, painful memories, distress in the family, afflictions deriving from past events. It's also has to do with medical stuff. It's a surgeon. It's an operation that's done. The knife in an old sore. Hatred, destruction, extravagance, spilling, revolt, and insurrection. All right. That seems relevant, right? Okay, so what crowns our situation right now? And it's wands. This is masculine. 8 of wands. Examination, interior disputes, misunderstandings, regrets, misunderstandings. Think of the media crowning our this situation of our country. Interior agitation, scruples, doubt, repentance. But on the other hand, is brought into the connection with everything that has to do with country life, fields, gardens, woods, etc. Garretism, pleasure, amusement, enjoyment, recreation. It's an express messenger. It's the arrows of love, the arrows of jealousy. It's like a great haste, speeding towards an end, which promises assured felicity. This is fun. Card 4. What is beneath us? Uh-oh. I guess it's not so bad. It's the 2 of Swords. Friendship, attachment, affection, intimacy, affinity, tenderness, attraction, etc. It's a concord in a state of arms. What if that's like, all the people doing good things that we see around us today? Okay, card number 3 is the 5 of Cups, which is usually it's taken to be like a negative card, I think. Because it's a guy, he's like looking down at, like, he's worried about like the spilled milk. Like 3 goblets are knocked over, but 2 goblets remain. But the guy seems like transfixed on these 3 goblets that are tipped over, which makes me feel like it's a positive thing, because this card on the spread represents what's behind us. So maybe that means that we're going to have kind of like a time of, a time of optimism now, instead of worrying about what was lost during all of this. It's a gift, a testament, transmission, tradition, not corresponding to expectations, not without bitterness and frustration. So that's interesting. That's the way that I choose to look at that. And the next card we're going to flip is the 6th card. And that is what is before us. What is coming next. And this is the 3 of Wands. This is good. This is a card of enterprise. It's a card of effort. It's a card of trade and commerce. It's a card of discovery and usurpation. It's a card of daring. And also imprudence. The cessation and the end of troubles. So there, hey, look at that. How is that for positive, man? What's coming up in our near future? It's the cessation of our troubles. All right. Card number 7 is ourselves. This is where we are. And we finally got a Pentacles. 6 of Pentacles. Tradition. The tradition is, it's the present. It's the actual moment, the day to day. It's a witness. It's a contemporary. Attention, good care, vigilance, presence, gifts, gratifications, and prosperity. So, I mean, this all seems good to me. What do you think? What do you guys think of this so far? What do you guys think of this spread? I'm going to take a picture of it when I flip all the cards over and put it up on Instagram if I remember. Next card, the 8th card. This is our house. Okay, and this card is always weird to me. But it holds true, right? I got the 4 of Cups. Annoyance, aversion, disgust, affliction, and discontent with the environment. So, and then also blended pleasure. So it's like, that's the state of our house right now. The next card we're going to flip is the 9th card in the spread. And this has to do with our hopes and our fears. Oh, boy. So the card that I flipped was the Fool card. Our hopes and our fears. Let's see. It's almost like our hopes and our fear. Well, our hopes, okay. But our fears are to return to this earlier stage, of man. Our fears, this card represents folly and wavering and hesitation and instability and trouble arising herefrom. So in the scenario of this card or this spread, that's what I would like. That's what I think. That's how I'm interpreting it. If this card represents our hopes and our fears, then I think that this is good. It's a good way to interpret it. the last card that I'm flipping over, the 10th card, is what will come. And this looks good here. We got another card straight from the third septenary of the major arcana. We got the sun. So this is what is to come. This card signifies earthly happiness, contentment, and joy. And the body is renewed. The material world commences its ascension towards God. All right, well, we're going to do a quick break here, and then we'll come back and we'll try to unpack some of this stuff. All right, so what do you guys think about this so far here, this situation we found ourselves in? When I'm looking at this and interpreting them, I mean, it seems like a pretty positive sign. It seems like it's acknowledging that the country is kind of having a problem. It kind of identifies the problem specifically with a medical condition. It didn't say plague, but it did say an old wound, and it had enough of the medical connotation for me to kind of pay attention to it. And then the next card, the Eight of Wands, kind of hinted about eternal or internal disruption, right? Internal disputes. And then the next card, which is the Two of Swords, was kind of like friendship. You know, I'm gonna take. Hey, bro, you need something? You need a roll of toilet paper? You need some soup or something? You need some pasta? I'll take care of you. I've been doing a lot of that with my neighbors, by the way. I'm sure you guys have been too. Kind of jives with the next card, the Five of Cups, right? Gifts, legacies, testament, and tradition. And then what's coming up? The Three of Wands, enterprise, effort, trade, commerce, and daring. You gotta love it. And then the sixth card, for the present, actual moment, the day-to-day, a witness, is actually a guy, and he's got a scale, and he's feeding people. He's giving people, I don't know, beans, I guess, maybe. And then it's kind of re-acknowledging the annoyance and the affliction and the discontent we are having with the Four of Cups card. That's cool. And then the Fool card that represents our fears of like returning back to kind of like our past situation, our lower place in the ascended world. And we end with what's to come: earthly happiness, and content and joy. So for everyone that's freaking out because of what the news is saying, turn the news off and just flip out some fucking tarot cards. I would be thrilled if some of you guys who are a little bit more experienced in telling these cards, I don't know, do your own set and share them. Let me know if I got anything wrong, for sure, but also let me know what you got when you flipped out your cards. I think this is interesting. I'm going to do this for a few days at least, and we'll see what happens. Nice little 20 minute little, what did I call it? A Quarentarot episode. So maybe you'll hear from me tomorrow. The state of the country, March 24th, 2020. The state of the world. The state of the American people, March 24th, 2020. The state of Americans, March 24th, 2020. State of America, March 24th, 2020. One more good one, okay, guys, and then we'll be on our way. State of America, 24th, 2020. Recording like a lightning bolt straight down the pillar of severity in the ritual space located underneath the Stigmata Studios building in the heart of the Steel City. I am John Towers, and this is the Abracast. So thank you guys for joining me. This is, what did I call it? Quarentarot episode number 2. We're focusing on March 24th, 2020 right now. So as a rule, when people are reaching out to me, asking me what I think about this outbreak and whatnot, whatever you want to call what we're living through right now, the first thing I tell them is turn off the news for a little while. Lower that blood pressure, get your stress level okay, because that news is doing nothing but awful shit to you. And then I thought, what about a great experiment? What if I, who have no history or track record at all to speak of, literally or otherwise, did a 10-card tarot spread on the state of America for each day. The last episode turned out to be 20 minutes or so. So I thought that I also did a cabin fever combat. I put my graphic novel, The Djinn Jihad, on the website, available for free. I busted it down into the chapters into PDF files, so you can just download them for nothing. Trying to help people maybe break the monotony or give them something to do while they're cooped up in their house during this media-filled fucking bonfire that we're living through. And I thought, I could take a couple minutes each evening and do like try to do one of these forecasts as something for you guys, something for all of us to do anyways, maybe pay attention to, and also as a little experiment, I don't know. Turn fucking CNN off and listen to the divine secret code of the Quarentarot. So this evening, this is going to be for March 24th, 2020, and we're focusing on the current state of America. I'm going to lay this first card down. All right. I'll reveal what they are in a minute here. Card number 2. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I said I was going to post the spread on Instagram. I don't know if I had done that or if I'm going to continue to do it. But I assure you, I'm telling you the truth. All right, let's put these other cards away to make sure there's no shenanigans. All right, so our first card is the signifier card. And right here, it was the 6 of Wands. Let me take a look at this card real quick. Okay. It's a guy on a horse. He's got one stick, and then there's 5 dudes with 5 other sticks around him. He's on a horse. And this is a servant. He's an inferior. He's a mercenary or commissioner, interior of a house or household. He is also said to denote great news and expectation, hope and trust, but sometimes not without some misgivings or a slight apprehension of treachery. So that's kind of interesting. The second card is what crosses this person. So he's one of my favorite cards, and it's interesting to listen to this. I'm telling you, it's interesting. In my set of tarot cards that I'm working on, actually work has grinded to a halt, unfortunately, but I was working on it. If you sign into the newsletter, the mailing list, the Fulgur Correspondentia. You get a link, and you can go and check out where they are right now in their current process. I have all the traditional ones done. I got hung up, and then life happened. But anyhow, the card that crosses this card is the Hierophant. And in my in my design, the Hierophant is the Pope. It's the person that receives orders from God and explains it to everybody. And in my set of cards, he's replaced by a man. Instead of a man sitting on a little chair with a triple cross and triple crown, he's actually like an image that's projected onto a bunch of TVs that are piled up. So the first place that my mind went to, because this is what I'm about to fucking say, is the media is the person that's crossing. But let's see what we have here. Mercy, benefice, kindness, goodness. He's a symbol of mercy, and he's a beneficiary. I have a somewhat more cynical view. It's possible. I've been around. I've seen some shit. Card 3. Well, that doesn't look good. Card 3 is what crowns the signifier card. I pulled the 10 of Swords. My wife is far better tarot card reader than I am. And whenever she sees Swords cards flipped, she's just like, ugh. So let's see. Tears, affliction, plaints, complaints, sadness, desolation, and sorrow. Well, that's no good. This seems to be a lot more depressing spread than we had yesterday. I'm going to pull the next one to see what is beneath our signifier. Oh, well, this is good. What's beneath? We got the Queen of Wands. She's an economical woman, and honorable and loving and virtuous. She's good and inclined to be friendly and interest herself in the querent, the person that's asking the questions. It might also indicate love of money, economy, and gifts. So I think that's the way that we should look at this, is economy. Economy is beneath what's going on. Another thing that's interesting is, never mind. I'm going to skip that. The fifth card we're going to pull is, remember, it's what's behind the signifier. We had a couple pentacles yesterday, so hold on, let's see what we got here. Yeah, this is way more depressing than it was yesterday. We got the Ace of Pentacles, so this is what's behind us. Contentment, happiness, ecstasy, perfect joy, perfect remedy, fulfillment of what has been asked for in prayer. Okay, well, that's good. Yeah, okay. We'll take that as it goes. Let's flip the next one, which is the 6th card, and this is what comes next. This is what's in our immediate future. All right. Well, this looks good. Queen of Cups, loving, intelligence, and hence the gift of vision, success, happiness, pleasure, also wisdom and virtue. Well, okay, so this is it. Because this has been kind of like a downer spread, up until now, I haven't been paying attention to whether the cards were upright or not. If you listen to the tarot card episodes in the featured topic link, you'll understand. I kind of explain in one of the many episodes there why I kind of questioned the validity of whether cards were reversed or not. However, in this case, because this is such a downer spread, I'm going to indicate that the Queen of Cups is totally upside down. And reversed weight says that it is vice, corruption, scandal, etc. So, the Wands was also reversed. So, if positively speaking, she was a roaring economy, then being upside down, she could mean something else. And that's interesting because one of the things I'm looking at when I'm looking at all this stuff is the economy. It's actually way worse than the actual disease that's happening. Like, when I look at this thing, what I'm looking at is the total willingness for the media to destroy the world's economy, to, I guess, blame it on Orange Man. That's kind of the way that I'm reading the situation. You could, I don't know, be on board or not. I'm not sure. You know, this whole thing is still in flux. Who knows what's going on? I like yesterday's spread better. All right, moving on to the 7th card, which is ourselves, himself, the state of the world or whatever. We're getting a lot of, the last 2 days, today and today, we're getting a lot of 4s and 5s, which is 4s, 5s, and 6s, which is interesting. So here, on this side, what our selves card is it's the 5 of Swords, which is loss, dishonor, degradation, defeat, ruin, the reversal of fortune, and the wronging, bad luck, and destruction. That all sounds awful, doesn't it? But listen, because we've just opened up this idea of reverse cards, this fucking card is upside down. So it says reversed. It still means much of the same. It also represents theft, a thief, corruption, seduction, plague, and all that is hideous and horrible. So I can't wait to see what actually happens tomorrow, because this seems like a fucked up day. All right, let's continue this here. We're going to flip the next card over, and this is let's see, what is it? This is the state of our house right now. Coming to us live from the Major Arcana, the second septenary. We got Justice, who is crowned and seated on a throne between 2 columns. Let's see. Equilibrium and justice. So, because we're introducing this idea of cards being upside down, being reversed, this is bigotry, the want of balance, the abuse of justice, and over severity. It's inequality and biased. It's going to be interesting to see how tomorrow shapes out. See what happens. I mean, the idea of inequality and bias and all this stuff has just been so skewed and destroyed and mislabeled, you know. And the only reason I'm thinking about that is because of the fake news, the TV Hierophant business that I talked about earlier. All right, 9. This is the one that gave me problems yesterday, remember? This is our hopes and fears. All right, this is troubling. So I guess I'm just going to start working in the reverses for this, in the name of science. We got the 8 of Pentacles reversed. So this is usury, which is a shitty lending maneuver, voided ambitions, vanity, and avarice, greed. I mean, we see that everywhere nowadays. I liked yesterday's spread a lot better than this. And this is the last card, and it's what will come. All right, well, this isn't so bad. 9 of Cups, and we have it. He's upright. It's victory, success, advantage, gain, triumph, and superiority. It's the heart's content. All right, so I guess we're going to have a rough day. It sounds like we're going to have a rough day, but, you know, it'll work out. It's going to work out. Yeah, I'm not posting these spreads on Instagram anymore. I can't fit them all into one shot. I don't know. My camera is messed up. My ceiling's not tall enough. I don't know what it is. But I want to honestly say that I hope everybody is safe, and I hope they're taking care of their family, and I hope they're taking care of their friends, and I hope they're taking care of the people that are around them, and I'm sure that you are. And I just want to say, hey guys, if you get wound up, just unplug CNN, MSNBC, the Colbert Report, unplug all that shit for a little bit. You're going to feel just fine. You're going to feel just fine. I'm John. This has been the Abercast. I love you. Thank you for tuning in. And thank you for doing the right thing. And I'll see you tomorrow with another Quarentarot episode. Let's find out what's going to fucking happen on Wednesday. All right, practical application, everybody. Practical application of the mystic arts. Wednesday, March 25th, 2020. Wednesday, March 25th, 2020. Wednesday, March 25th, 2020. One more time. You know, if the old Abercast axiom, if anything's worth doing, it's worth overdoing. All right. Wednesday, March 25th, 2020. Card number 1. Card 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. 10 card spread. All right, our first card is the Wheel of Fortune, and this is our significator card. And the wheel is found in the second septenary of the major arcana. And this is good. This is all good. This is a Wheel of Fortune, and she is upright and seaworthy. This is good fortune. This is success. And this is unexpected luck. So what's the card that's crossing Pat Sajak and Vanna White here? Let's see. Right, it's an industrious card. It's the 8 of Pentacles. I think this popped up before. On this scientific experiment that we're conducting here, you and I. The 8 of Pentacles is a dark girl, an honest girl. Okay. Devotion into what is not prescribed duty. It's charity. This is all good. Charity, skill, artistic ability, work done under inspiration, dexterity, uncommon qualities, perhaps geniality, or even genius. Researches into the mysteries of nature, nursing work in hospitals or sanitariums. See, this is all good. Institutions themselves. All right, let's flip this fucking 3 card. Oh boy, this is what's the 3 card. The card in the 3rd position, I should say, is what crowns our Wheel of Fortune. And I flipped over the Hanged Man, which is also in the second septenary of the major arcana. He symbolizes sacrifice, sacrifice, devotion, and he's bound. He's the right side up, which means he's upside down. Okay, the card in the 4th position is what is beneath the Wheel of Fortune. We got this card before too, bro. I don't think at this point it's the lack of shuffling. I think we're seeing repeats because we're traveling in a line. We're talking about a narrative literally day to day. So what I pulled was the Five of Cups. Now, this is the one that we talked about, I believe, on Monday. It's the dude in the cape looking at the spilled over cups and ignoring the cups that are still upright. And this is an upright card. So it's inheritance, it's legacy, succession, gifts, testaments, transmissions, traditions, all of them not corresponding with expectations, with some of the card of a marriage, but not without bitterness and frustration. It's a card about family matters, care to be taken of them, sorrow or pleasure, emotion, material difficulties. There may be some advantage and some loss at the same time. News is certain to arrive. It's subject to the influences from the surroundings and apt to react too quickly thereon. So just out of these four cards, I see correlation with our situation that we're in now, this crisis that we're looking at. I'm John Towers. This is the Abercast, by the way. So the fifth card, I gotta stop saying that because it gets confusing. I know. The card in the fifth position is what is behind Pat Sajak and Vanna White, and I turned the Queen of Cups, which is a great card too. I think all the Queen cards are great. I want to know what's up with her fucking cup that she has, though. I'm using the Weight deck, by the way, the classic, deck. So she's a fair woman, good and honest and devoted, virtuous, and one who will do service with the querent. Another version says, loving intelligence, and hence the gift of vision, success, happiness, pleasure, also wisdom and virtue. So this is a good, intelligent, active, and practical woman whom the querent will do well to obey and who deserves his full esteem. The type of married woman and a mother, a careful and attentive, of much use. So I guess this being in the past tense might not be a good thing. But we did have her yesterday. She's another, where was she at yesterday? She was in the sixth position yesterday, which is where we're going next. So yesterday she was before us and today she is behind us. Is that interesting? I think it seems interesting to me. So we're going to go to the card in the sixth position, and that is what is before Pat Sajak and Vanna White. And we have an upside down card, and it's also a queen. We got the Queen of Pentacles. It's upside down. She's a dark woman who suggests the idea of greatness of soul, and she has the serious cast of intelligence. Reversed, which is her orientation here in our spread, she is doubt and indecision and uncertainty, timidity and apprehension and vacillation. So it looks like we might be in for a little bit of a backslide here in kind of our timeline, which isn't very, it doesn't feel very good. I almost caught it. All right, the seventh card, which is it's this card in the seventh position. I'm going to get it right, I swear. By the end of this whole thing, I'm going to know this shit forwards and backwards. So we have a card. This is the one. Remember I said that my wife is way better at reading tarot cards than I am? I don't know. I don't normally read tarot cards. Literally, this is my third day of reading tarot cards. But I know that whenever she sees this card, she gets a little bugged out. So I already kind of gave you a hint about this. It's a swords, right? She doesn't like the sword cards. Well, we got the Nine of Swords, which is this guy. He's leaned up in his bed and he's covering his eyes like he's seen something terrible, and there's 9 swords on the bedroom wall behind him. But it's inverted. We have it inverted here, so let me check. So it's an interesting card. He's a bachelor, he's a priest, he's a lone dude, a hermit, a member of a monastic order or of a church or a religion or a cult. Devotion, rite, ritual, ceremony. Waite would say that reversed, this is justified doubt, fear, or mistrust, scruple, shame, imprisonment, timidity, or I don't know what this last word means. Pooter. Pooter? When you see the card, you should think of dogma, ecclesiastical spirits, scholastic, minded, creed, rite, ritual, ceremonial. So I file this into, we're so secular in our culture nowadays. We look at the weirdest things as religion. I would take this to be like, it's the government as a religion, or the news as some kind of religion. It's an interesting idea. What do you guys think of that? I know what I think of it. All right, so this is the state of our house. This is the card in the 8th position. We got another swords, everybody. We got the 7 of swords, and he's upright here. This is hope, wish, design, will. Ding, ding, ding. Taste, fantasy. He's also quarreling. That it's a plan that might fail. He's meeting the opponent. Perhaps some fighting, but more probably the strategy than the fighting itself is indicated. Using the weapons of the enemy. It's practical ability. What? How did I just open this episode up? Practical application, everybody. Science and the arts and crafts, tricks and understanding of practical and material obstacles, success by means of capability combined with diplomacy, good care taken. It's a scheme or design. The card in the 9th position. We know that this one gives me trouble. At least it has for the last 2 days. This is the card that represents our hopes and fears. We're pentacle heavy. We have 3 pentacles. We have 3 pentacles and 2 swords. So we got the page of pentacles. I don't know, what is it with this dark business? He's a dark young man. He's a disciple, a student, a speculator, a commercial man. Application of scholarship, study, reflection, meditation, occupation, rule, management, news, message, and the messenger himself. However, I forgot to mention that this motherfucker is reversed. So the reverse meanings are here for once given as favorable for the greater part. Reversed, this chap stands for profession, luxury, sumptuousness, breadth, abundance, magnificence, generosity, well-doing. It also can mean the crowd. It could mean multitude, degradation, and dissipation. So there you go. Your hopes and your fears. Crowds, magnitudes, and dissipation. I rest my case. I don't rest my case, by the way. That was a figure of speech. So this is what's to come. The card in the 10th position is what is to come. And I'm curious. Okay, so this is classic because the judgment card I pulled for what will come. This is the card in the 10th position. This is what will come. And it's reversed. So reversed, it means postponement of a result, delay, or a matter reopened later. All right, so if I take a step back and take a look, what do we see here? We see there's no wands. I would say we're pentacle heavy. We got three pentacles. We're pentacle heavy, and then we have 2 cups and 2 swords apiece. And I think this is the most major arcana cards we've had in the spread, with a grand total of 3. So it's all interesting. We're also queen heavy. We got 2 queens, one in our near future and one in our near past. So that's something. Check out the show notes if you want to take a look at the order of the cards, if you lost track. I'm John. Thank you guys. And hey, yeah, we'll do this again tomorrow, and then we're going to take Friday off for the regular program. I got a great interview coming up. I haven't done it yet, so I'm afraid to say, but fuck it, I'll say it. I'm going to be interviewing Lynn Picknett and Clive Prince. They're authors of a lot of books, one of which called The Templar Revelations, which kind of helped set me on my own path. So this is kind of like a big deal for me to talk to them. They just published a new book called When God Had a Wife, and I've run through it like 8 times. I have notes and annotations and fucking sticky flags everywhere to talk to them about. I'm very excited about it. Trying to prep the Fulgur Correspondentia for next month, and literally everything's in chaos, so I don't know exactly what I'm going to do. Anyhow, thank you guys, and really the takeaway to this is just unplug from the media for a little while. I checked into Facebook today, and my fucking Facebook feed is a dumpster fire. So I'm encouraging you guys to get away from Facebook, turn off CNN or MSNBC or whatever you guys are watching to get the up-to-date latest information of Coronapalooza 2020. And I'm just trying to do something that's a little bit fun here and to give a little bit of perspective, as well as do a cool experiment. What do you guys think about all of this? I hear you out there going, you need to shuffle more. That's what I fucking think about it. So thank you guys. Hang in there. God, sorry for sniffing. Maybe I get the Kung Flu. By the way, when people say Kung Flu, it's not fucking racist, okay? It's fucking funny is what it is. So, please look out for each other. Look out for yourselves, your family. Make sure you're checking in on those who aren't so good at checking in on themselves, perhaps. And, unplug for a little while. Come listen to me babble for a little bit, and that's it. Yeah, literally, I don't have anything else to say. Be, in the immortal words of Bill and Ted, be excellent to each other.
Take control of your destiny. Understand your past, put your present in context, and know your future with a twist. Check out the designs and watch the videos about Abracast Tarot Card Deck on abracast.com. When you order a deck, get a free exclusive bonus tarot card. Also, sign into the mailing list to get a free ebook about the Abracast Tarot Card Deck and other bonus content. Visit the storefront on abracast.com.
Thursday, March 26th. 2020. My mom would not have liked that shuffle. Shitty shuffle. March 26th, 2020. I want to know the state of the world on March 26th, 2020. It's a Thursday. I want to know what's up with it. Motherfuckers, you're going to tell me what's up with it. March 26th, 2020. March 26th. What kind of shenanigans do you have in store for us? Thursday, March 26th, 2020. All right, everybody, welcome to the Abercast. I'm John Towers. You know what we're doing here this evening? We are doing a tarot card, 10 card tarot card spread to talk about the state of the union during this crisis. I laid out the cards here already. And we're going to back up a little bit and do a little bit of reinforcement. So I laid out all the cards. The way that I do it is that the signifier card I lay face up, and then all the other cards I lay face down, so we can get an idea of what we got going on with this signifier card. I thought we'd go this evening. Now, this is kind of like the last episode of like this test phase that we're doing. So I thought I would take a moment to kind of define what each of these positions are, because I want to. So here we go. This is from Arthur Edward Waite, the pictorial key to the tarot. He speaks here of the signifier card. It is more convenient for the purpose of the divination to take as the signifier or significator the matter about which the inquiry is to be made. That trump or small card should be selected, which has a meaning corresponding to the matter. Let it be supposed that the question is, will a lawsuit be necessary? In this case, you might take the number 11 card, which is justice, as the significator. This is a reference to legal affairs. But if the question is, shall I be successful in my lawsuit, one of the court cards must be chosen as the significator. So here's something that I'm doing that's different. I'm not choosing a significator. It's literally the first card that I draw out. In today's case, the significator is a card that showed up multiple times already, and I'm very interested to see what this is. That 5 of Cups card with the dude with the black cloak looking at the 3 spilled over cups and not paying attention to the 2 cups behind him that are still upright. So this is inheritance, legacy, succession, gift, testament, transmission, tradition. It's a marriage, but not without bitterness and frustration. This is a card about family matters, care to be taken of them, sorrow or pleasure, emotion, material difficulties. There may be some advantage or some loss at the same time. News is certain to arrive, subject to influences from surroundings and apt to react to. Listen to that. News is certain to arrive, subject to influences from surroundings and apt to react too quickly thereon. So that's our signifier card. So this card, in the look of the draw, or in the divination of the tarot, this is the card that was chosen to represent the meaning or the corresponding to the matter of the question, which is basically the state of the union during Corona Apocalypse 2020. So here we have already some things going on. So let me flip the card in the second position, which is the card that crosses the signifier card. It shows the nature of the obstacles in the matter. If it is a favorable card, the opposing forces will not be serious, or it may indicate that something good in itself will not be productive of good in a particular connexion. All right, I'm flipping over card in position 2. I believe we've seen this card. in our experiment is discipline, a student, a speculator, a commercial man, application, scholarship, study, meditation, occupation, rule. Here we go. Listen to this connection. So this is what is on top of our signifier card. Discipline, a disciple, a student, commercials, occupation, rule, management, news, message, and the messenger himself. So it's impossible to tell whether this is reversed or not because the card actually lays sideways on the table. Let me look at the reverse here and see. Yeah, nothing jumps out at me here. All right, so let's move. We're going to move to card 3, which is, it's the place above the significator, and it says this crowns him. It represents the querent's aims or ideal in the matter. The best that can be achieved under the circumstances, but that which has not yet been made actual. We get this card before too. Maybe I have a problem with shuffling. I don't know. Here we go. We flipped in this third position the sun. This signifies earthly happiness, content, joy in the minor degree. So I jokingly say that it could be a shuffling error. Maybe I'm not shuffling enough. I mean, you're listening to me shuffle these cards. But my point of view from, I think, yesterday or the day before that is we're doing a thing step by step every day. So wouldn't it be weird if the same cards didn't show up? I don't know. What do you think about that? What are your thoughts on it? Because this, what crowns him, this is an awesome card to have. So the fourth card is what is beneath him. It shows the foundation or the basis of the matter, that which has already passed into actuality, in which the significator has made its own. So let's see what the card in the fourth position is. We got the 7 of Wands. May your fourth position card be a masculine card. What do we have here? The 7 of Wands is it's a discussion. It's a negotiation. It's a conference. It's a conversation. It's deliberation. It's desertion. It's correspondence. It's word and it's language. Generally, it's success. But there may also be some hesitation, uncertainty, irresolution, and lightheartedness. So I have been pretty open about my thoughts about the media during this whole time. This is a card of, it might be considered a card of conspiracy. So that's interesting. Make of that what you may. All right, we're gonna flip the fifth card, the card in the fifth position. Let me see. I'm sorry, I just gotta read. So these are the events that's behind the signifier card. So let's see. Uh-oh. All right, so this is what's behind our current situation. We got the Queen of Swords, but she's reversed. She's a bad woman. Malice, bigotry, prudishness, hypocrisy, artifice, and deceit. Widow, divorced or separated, a woman of a lower character. Hateful, spiteful, deception, So we're going to get some news from Hillary Clinton today. That's what I'm saying. I'm moving from abstraction straight into prediction. Mark my words. Thursday, March 26th, we're going to hear from Hillary Clinton. Okay, so the card in the 6th position, this is what is before him, the significator. It shows the influence that is coming into action and will operate in the near future. Another very interesting card. And another repeating card. We've had this card. And this is very depressing. So we got the World, but she's reversed. So we have evil reward or recompense. And our two major arcana cards that we got this evening are straight from the third septenary. So this is a thing that we are getting over and over again. Realization, mercy and benefits, the wise, disposition, equilibrium, prudence, fortitude, sanctified by the sacrifice of the self. Okay, the next card we're going to flip is the card in the 7th position. And this card signifies himself, or they call it the querent. It's the object of the question, which would be our current situation on Thursday, March 26th, 2020. All right, I'm flipping the card now. All right, we got a 2 of Wands. Oh, here we go. Melancholy, sadness, surprise, astonishment, consternation, terror, fear, enchantment, trouble. But also, on the other hand, riches, fortune, and magnificence. I feel like we've had this card too. I could be wrong on that one. I don't have my list in front of me. So this is a gentleman holding the world in his hand with 2 wands in front of him. So this could be the 2 pillars of the Gate of Solomon with this guy with the world in his hand standing there. That's interesting, right? But think about what I just read. It's like, it sounds a lot like what the media is pushing. Melancholy, sadness, surprise. I can't believe he said that. Orange Man bad. Astonishment, terror, fear, enchantment. That's interesting. Trouble. But on the other hand, what's everybody talking about? The stimulus package, right? Riches, fortune, and magnificence. I'm going to flip the 8th card. And this signifies, the way that it's written, is it's his house, that is his environment and the tendencies that work therein, which have an effect on the matter. For instance, his position in life, the influence, the immediate friends, and so forth. I'm flipping it right now. The card that's in the 8th position is an 8th. It is a 8 card. It's the 8th card of Pentacles, which we just had, but she's reversed. I don't know if she was reversed last time. Hold on. All right, she was not reversed last time. So let's see. Reversed. What's going on here? All right, so let's think about the economy. Let's think, like, look, hey, ever since this whole thing starts shaking down, my fucking student loans, they haven't stopped calling me, right? So here you go. The 8 of Pentacles reversed is usury, voided ambitions, vanity, Cupid, avarice, and etc. Let's see if there's any other. It may indicate the conversion of good for nothing labor. I got a kick out of that one. All right, let's see. We're going to flip over the ninth. This is the card that's been giving me problems as we're doing this, right? This is the card in the ninth position is hopes and fears. Damn it. We've had this, the Queen of Wands, and we've had her reversed already. So we're just, this is reversed. This is our hopes and our fears. So she's all about the economy. This is all about the economy. Love of money, economy, and gifts. Being virtuous and an economical woman. So because she is reversed, this is going with our theme. Were this hopes and fears? Question? Position? It has been about our fears since we've started this experiment. An upside down economy. That's all I'm saying. I mean, I know you Bernie bros are out there just being like, print the money, send it to me, please. Meh. Hang the bankers. It's the Paris Commune. Meh. All right, I'm about to flip the card in the 10th position. And this is what will come, the final result, the culmination which is brought about by the influences shown by the other cards that have not been turned up in this divination. Here we go. I'm going to flip it. 5. T minus 5. 4. 3. 2. This is hilarious. So we got the 3 of Wands, which is, and he's upright, so that's safe. This is enterprise. This is effort, essay. This is trade. This is commerce. This is discovery, usurpation. This is daring, temerity, and also imprudence. Cessation in the end of troubles. And this is weird. There's a correlation here because on the Monday episode, March 23rd, 2020, the 3 of Wands showed up in the 6th position card, which is the card of what's before us. What's before not what's before, but like what comes next in the spread, the 6th position. So this is interesting. We're seeing a lot of the same cards showing up. We're seeing a lot of the same themes showing up. And so let's see. Let's take a big picture look here. We got, we're Wands heavy. We got 4 Wands cards. We got 2 Pentacle cards. And we got 1 Sword card and 1 Cup card. 2 Major Arcana cards. That's interesting. A lot of Wands today. A lot of Wands. May your first child be a masculine child. There's something to note here. Is that the World card, she actually has 2 double wands of power in her hand. So that's interesting. We're seeing all these wands all over the place today. Anyhow, I'm John. This has been the Abercast. Hey, turn off your TV for a little while. Let the universe give you the current events. And be safe. Be safe and love everybody. Love each other. Love everybody. Take care of everybody around you. You don't need the extra packet of toilet paper. Give it away to somebody who needs it. You'll be fine. I promise you, bro. You're going to be fine. Friday, March 27th, 2020. Friday, March 27th, 2020. Friday, March 27th, 2020. We're going to be talking about what happens on Friday, March 27th, 2020, as it relates to our current That's right, my friends, recording straight down the pillar of severity in the ritual space underneath the Stigmata Studios building located in the heart of the Steel City. I am John Towers, and this is the Abercast. So you might be thinking, John, why are you all alone? This is the Friday episode. You're supposed to be having a very cool guest on with you to talk about weird stuff. What's going on? Well, ladies and gentlemen, what's going on is the quarantine, the fucking police state, the stay-at-home rules and everything else fucked my whole interview schedule up. I won't get into the details. I'm sure it's not hard to figure out, at least to choose your own adventure of fucking whatever your favorite pandemic outbreak fucking deadly Mutaba virus nonsense is going on. So instead of leaving you guys hanging, because I just promised I wasn't pod fading when I took the Wednesday episodes out. So now I'm like, well, I certainly can't just skip an episode, and I didn't know exactly what else to do. But over on Patreon and Subscribestar, since Monday this week, I have been asking people to turn off their television and their media for a little bit. I mean, I'm not asking you to be isolated, but I'm saying, hey, we're going to do an experiment, right? This is the experiment we're going to do. And this is the experiment we're doing this evening, by the way. It's continuation. The experiment that we're doing is we're turning off our television. We are, and I've noticed I'm not, I don't feel like I'm very good at this. This is only my fifth tarot read ever, right here. I did Monday, I did Tuesday, I did Wednesday, I did Thursday, and this is it. So the idea is we're going to do a classic 10-card spread for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And this is the exact same thing I've been doing on the Quarentarot episodes over at Patreon and Subscribestar for supporters of the show. So basically the idea is the intent, the question I'm asking as I'm shuffling these cards is, what's the state of, I believe that I've been limiting it to the United States. What condition is the United States in today? And I'm not bringing in any input. I basically have stopped watching the news, and all of the fear pornness of it. So, at first it was pretty rocky, and I'm sure it isn't as good as it's going to get. See, so people are like, you should learn a new skill while you're in quarantine. So this is it. I know a lot about the tarot. If you're a longtime listener of the show, you know, I've talked about it for hours. I've read, tons of it, but it's all been academic for me. So at this point in time, the experiment is entering, you know, the second kind of phase. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, hidden from everybody on the on the Patreon page and the Subscribestar page. But actually, I did on Thursday's episode, I did get a little ballsy, and I actually made my first official prediction based on a card reading. And you guys will know by now if that has come to pass or not. I'm recording this early because of my schedule and whatnot, and the administration time it takes to get these things up and to where they're available for you fellows and ladies. So if Hillary Clinton did something stupider or more grandiose than normal on Thursday, then I am probably having a pretty good morning right now. But if not, then I'm like, well, she just did it. She just did it and no one knows about it yet. Or, alternatively, she just did it and the media is covering it up right now. We'll find out about it sooner or later. And I have this date like a red letter in burned upon my brain. Anyhow, enough of babbling and gibbering and jabbering. Hey, if you're listening to this and you're still on board, even though you're expecting, I had a great interview lined up. I did have a great interview lined up, but it was on a different, the interviewees were on a different continent. And with the current situations, we just felt it was better to postpone, because I'm not in this business to waste anybody's time to get a bunch of garbled audio, that is for sure. So I hope in the near future we'll be able to make this connection. These people they wrote a book that helped set me on my path, and I was so stoked to talk about it. I think I actually blew the cover on one of the Quarentarot episodes, probably on the Thursday episode. I think that I blew the secret. And of course, as soon as I did it, shit started to fall apart. So be that as it may. Take that however you want it. I'm never going to tell anyone what, unless you sign into the mailing list, because then I try to tell everybody what's coming up. So, okay, I felt I've babbled long enough. So let's get into this first 10-card spread. We're going to do a 10-card spread for Friday. We might take a little break. Then we'll do a 10-card spread for Saturday. And then we might take a little break. And then we might do a 10-card spread for Sunday. So for the Quarentarot episodes, they have been taking me about 20 to 25 minutes a piece to do. And like I said, this is academic for me. I don't bring to the table a bunch of intuition. Unfortunately, I feel like I would be a better tarot card reader if I did. So yeah, let's do this. Yeah, let's just fucking do it. Let's start. Let's get this party. Let's get this Quarantino party started. I got my Bereth sigil shirt yesterday, by the way. It's fucking awesome. So good. Check out the store section if you're interested in the shirts. We're adding new shirts all the time. I don't think there will be a new one added by the time this airs, but I'm working on a doozy. One that I tried to figure out for a long time how to do. Patreon supporter Ryan figured it out. He figured out the formula. I'm working on the shirt as we speak. Well, not as we speak. Probably as you're listening to this, I'm working on the shirt. I don't know. Anyhow, let's get into this thing. So raise your vessel of the art to the sky, filled with your weapon of mass distraction. Say hail to all the Patreon and Subscribe Star supporters out there. Hail, everybody. And thank you guys for your support. Also, letting you guys know that... Well, no, oh shit, how did I pull the trigger too fast? Hold on. If you're interested in this card reading business, check out the Patreon Subscribe Star. I have plans to do this at least until through next week. Depends on when the quarantine, when the police state here gets lifted in Allegheny County. We're going to kind of play it, but I'm committed to do Monday through Thursday of next week. So if you're interested in that, check it out. I feel like I kind of got my training wheels off going into this thing. I'm sure, I know I have a lot to learn, and I'm sure people that are a lot more versed in slinging these cards will be able to help me out and or criticize the fuck out of me, whichever comes first. One other thing, what was it? No matter what happens, if you like the interview programs on Friday, tune in next Friday. I already have it scheduled, like it's already been recorded. And you're like, well, why don't you just play that one for this Friday and spare us from all your lame tarot card reading attempts? Well, the problem is because sometimes podcast is an art form, and sometimes, just sometimes, timing matters, okay? So just take that as will. I have a smash up, bang up, awesome interview that's going to air next Friday. So this is not pod fade. Don't let this tarot card business shy away from the show. If you're not into it, just come back next Friday. I got an awesome interview. All right. So here, I'm going to lay these goddamn cards down. Already interesting. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, so there's some notes here and I'm going to be backtracking a little bit. If you're familiar with the Quarentarot episodes that are on Patreon and Subscribe Star, since this is kind of like open up to everybody, I'm going to be kind of covering some of the same ground. The first part of ground that I'm going to be covering is that apparently some tarot card folks choose the significator card. I do not, because I have such an open-ended sort of question. I let the cards choose it for me. The significator card, it signifies the matter about which the inquiry is to be made. So this card that I'm about to talk about is our significator card, and this card is our significator card is the King of Cups, and this is a fair and honest man, a man of business, law, or divinity. He's responsible. He's deposed to oblige the querent equity, art, and science, and those who profess science and art and law. So maybe to me, this seems like this is a thing that I'm doing now, is I'm starting to interject where it's at. So to me, I think that maybe this is talking about the question that started getting raised on Wednesday, which is whether we should open up industry again. Science, art, law, the law of divinity, and being an honest and responsible man. So maybe that's the question, how the question has manifested itself in our spread today. If you have a different take on it, let me know. And remember, I'm just going to leave it late. I'm going to leave it late. So the second card in the spread is what covers our significator card. It lay across the first. This is the card that crosses him. It shows the nature of the obstacles in the matter. And if it is a favorable card, opposing forces will not be serious, or it may indicate that something good in itself is not productive of good or particular connection. So we've seen this card in our experiment already before. This is interesting. This is something that's happened over and over again, and where we're seeing the same cards show up, and I'm like, maybe I'm not shuffling enough, but I'm shuffling the fuck out of them. So I think what it is it's because we're kind of going day to day, we're seeing some of the same cards popping up over and over again. The card that I just pulled is the Nine of Swords. Like I said, we've seen this earlier this week. So what's crossing our, creativity, our industry, our art and science, which maybe it's academia. What's crossing all of this is the Nine of Swords, which is interesting because it's a bachelor, a priest, a clergyman, a hermit. It's some kind of monastic order. It's a religion or a cult or devotion. It's a rite, a ritual, or a ceremony. So it's also dogma, dogmatism, ecclesiastical spirit, scholastic mind, and ceremony, as I mentioned before. And this conclusion here, this dogma or dogmatism, is what I want to focus in on, because I don't see a whole lot of religion being thrown around right now, but I do see a lot of left and a lot of right being thrown around right now. So maybe the dogma isn't a religious dogma. Maybe it's a political dogma, which is totally crossing and covering the situation we find ourselves in, especially even this thing where they can't get this stimulus bill passed either way, and it's like it's divided along political lines. So this is how, so just emerging, just these two cards, this is kind of how I'm seeing this spread shake out for Friday. I would like to know what you have to think. The next card we're going to turn is the card in the third position. It is placed above the signifier. This is what crowns him. It represents the aim or the ideal of the matter, the best it can be achieved under the circumstances. And I think that we have seen this card as well. Hold on. It's it's a Queen of Pentacles, but she's reversed. Here, I think that we're going to be talking about the schism right now. What I just called the dogmatic, politically dogmatic schism. The Queen of Pentacles is a great card. She's an ideal of greatness of soul. She has a serious cast of intelligence. She stands for opulence and riches, luxury and assurance, security and liberty. That's all good stuff. However, like I said, she's reversed. So she stands for doubt and indecision and uncertainty, timidity, apprehension, and vacillation. I remember for sure we talked about her. I don't keep a running tally of these. I should figure out some way to do it. So I think what we're talking about is this schism that we're seeing. If you have a Twitter account, just log into Twitter and just scroll through it for a second. You want to throw up. All right, so I'm about to turn up the card in the 4th position. And this is the card that is beneath the signifier card, and it shows the foundation or basis of the matter, which has already been passed into actuality, in which the significator has made its own. So here's what's at the foundation of it. Okay. All right. So far, we got a pretty balanced spread. We got a Pentacles, a Sword, and a Wands. I just flipped over the Knight of Wands. And, I mean, listen to this. He's upright. He's the right way. The Knight of Wands. He's friendly, departure, absence, flight, immigration, a change of residence, desertion, transmigration, transplantation, transmutation, separation, disunion, rupture, discontinuance, or discord. He is a representative of a father or of the family, a relative, a man visiting the house and bringing new and perhaps disturbing influences into it, disturbing domestic happiness. I mean, this seems to be nailing it. I mean, am I wrong? Everybody, am I wrong? This is a new aspect that I'm adding as I'm understanding the cards more and more. So the King of Cups faces, if you're standing here looking at the spread as I'm looking at them, he's facing to the right. So this card that's in the 5th position will okay, okay, hold on. I'm trying to wrap my head around it. So he's facing to the right. So this is what's before him. Not before him as in after, but this is what comes next. It shows the influence that is coming into his actions and will operate in the near future. So I'm just adding this dimension. I stuck with the standard layout for the last 4 readings. So I'm becoming more and more sophisticated as I'm doing this, right? So this card is one of my favorites. And we haven't pulled it yet. Bros, if you go and look at the tarot cards I designed, this card is hilarious. It took a tremendous amount of will to not turn this into a blowjob joke. So the card that lays before our significator card is the High Priestess. And she stands for science, wisdom, knowledge, and education. And she's upright, which is great for us. I mean, this seems like a pretty optimistic thing. Education and science is before us. Maybe it's going to get us out of this nonsense. So because I'm taking into account which way this card's looking, now the 6th card is showing what is behind him. What is behind the significator card. It gives the influence that has just passed or is now passing away. So we haven't had the High Priestess yet, and we certainly haven't had this pleasant gentleman show up yet. So I just flipped in the what is behind him position. It's the Devil card. Ladies and gentlemen, coming all the way from the third arcana, or the third septenary of the major arcana, the Devil card. So as crazy as this card looks, we talked about this many times in our different tarot card episodes. He basically just stands for the fatality for the good, or the fatality for evil if he's reversed. And our gentleman here is upright, so he is fatality. He's signifying, he's saying what was behind them is fatality for good. I'm not exactly sure what to make of that. I don't know. I'm running along all right. Well, it's because I did all the babbling at the very beginning. So we're going to move over to the 7th card. And this card... So the first set of cards that I just read were kind of laid out in a cross section. There's it's like there's a north, south, east, and a west, and there's a card upright in the middle and a card cockeyed in the middle, which was the 9 of Swords. The next set of cards in the 10 card spread, it goes to the right of this cross sort of structure, and it goes up from 7, 8, 9, 10. So the 7th card, and it goes back to what the card in the first position is. The 7th card signifies himself. That is the significator, whether a person or thing, in our case, circumstance. And it shows the position or attitude of the card. So this is interesting. This is, hold on. All right, 7, flip over. We've seen this card too. So interesting. So the question we came into this thing was, what's the current state of, what condition is the United States in? And this is this card showed up as the card in the first position, I believe Monday. So this is the universe or the world. This is the world card, and it's completion, it's good, and it's reward. So this could also be interpreted as the human will enlightened by science and manifested by action. So I find that this is a pretty optimistic spread so far. He's also from the third septenary of the major arcana. And I'm looking around, just take a quick thing. Okay, we're due for a cup or two. No, we got a cup. Cup, sword, wand, pentacle. All right, yeah, we're pretty even so far. And then we also have 3 major arcana cards. So what's coming up next? I don't know. Here we go. We're talking about the 8th card in the spread. And this signifies the house of the significator card. And when I say house, what I mean is it's his environment. It's the environment. So when the question is like, what condition is my country in today due to in its current crisis? This is the environment and the tendencies at work, wherein which we have an effect on the matter. It's the position in life or the influence, the immediate friends, and so on and so forth. So let's flip this motherfucker. Oh, well, okay. I mean, it fits. We had the 9 of Swords, and now here we pull the 10 of Swords, which is a really depressing card. My wife is way better at this than I am, and she always kind of flinches when she turns over these Swords cards. So it's a guy laying there face down. That's the way we like to... with all these swords jammed in his back, and it stands for tears, affliction, plaints, complaints, sadness, desolation, and sorrow. So I was kind of taken aback when I first flipped it, but I mean, if you, like I just mentioned, if you look at Twitter right now, it's a shit show. Like, everybody's mad about everything. And then when they're not mad about anything, they're fucking terrified about it, about something. So it could also be about karmic results, which I don't believe that's true. Material limits, physical necessity. I mean, we see all this stuff in like our runs on toilet paper and all this other nonsense everyone's doing out there. It can also stand for official might and power, which I'm suffering under right now. I have this tyrannical governor, obedience to the same in official persons. The mother church and monastery, we've already kind of wiped that religious stuff out. I don't believe we work in the same kind of paradigm as we did when these things were laid. I think we have to redefine some of these things like we did with the dogmatic problem. So at first I was like, this is a shitty card to flip over. But with a little bit of retrospect, you're like, yes, everybody is everybody is suffering right now in one degree or another. So I think it might be warranted. I think that might be a warranted card. I don't think it drags us down because I think we still have enough optimism here when I look at these cards. So this is the one I've been having problems with. This is the 9th card, and this card signifies hopes and dreams, and hopes and fears, and I've only got the fear side out of this, so let's see what happens. I think we've had this gentleman before too. It's funny how fast all these roll together when you're reading them every day, or when you're doing this every day. However, I received a 4 of Pentacles, but he's reversed in this hopes and fears position. So let's see, reversed. It's a circle. It's a circuit. And in general, that which limits, encircles, holds. It stands for walls. It encloses. So it may be convenient. It's further obstacles. It's delay and it's suspense. I mean, I think that's pretty self-explanatory, isn't it? This rush for items, like I just mentioned, like the sell on toilet paper and all of this stuff, and also we're trapped. Literally, we're trapped. I mean, they're talking about they're talking about walls. We're stuck in our own walls. You know, I don't feel the need to go off on this anymore. I think it's very self-explanatory. And this guy, look, he's holding this fucking pentacle in his arms so greedily, like he can't clutch it tight enough. It's like he's got a fucking roll of toilet paper in there. He can't go. All right, so the 10th card for Friday is what will come. This is the final result, the culmination, which is brought about by the influences shown on these other cards that have been turned up in this experiment. And the 10th card is, we've seen this motherfucker before. I need to create a spreadsheet or something for this experiment. So I just flipped over the 7 of Swords. He's right-sided up. So so this is the best case scenario, right? The final result as it relates to these cards. This is hope, wish, design, will, taste, fantasy. Another version says also quarreling a plan that may fail. So that's all good stuff. This is also closing with and meeting the opponent. Perhaps some fighting, but more probably with strategy than the fighting itself indicated. Using the weapons of the enemy. Vaccines. Practical ability. Again, here we come. We hit on this science of the arts and the crafts and tricks. Understanding of practical and material obstacles and of the work that is to be done. The enemy will be disarmed and arguments will be undone. A person of technical ability. Favors technical professions, success by means of capability, and combined with diplomacy, good care taken, scheme, design. So I'm looking through here and I see 1, 2, 3 swords, 2 pentacles, one wand. We got no cups. How did I miss that? Yeah. Actually, I did bring that up earlier. We don't have any cups. So what I see here, generally speaking, is it's started out with a discussion about the economy and getting our industry back moving again. Getting our not retail. It wasn't retail. Nowhere here did it show up with retail, but it talked about arts and sciences a lot. And I believe it seems like there was like some medicine stuff in there, and then also just the capable people that are going to bring us through this. And I feel this spread is pretty good. So I don't know. Yeah, we're going to do it. We're going to do a commercial break here, and then I have to jot down the order of all these cards, and then we'll come back and we'll do Saturdays. All right.
Take control of your destiny. Understand your past, put your present in context, and know your future with a twist. Check out the designs and watch the videos about Abracast Tarot Card Deck on abracast.com. When you order a deck, get a free exclusive bonus tarot card. Also, sign into the mailing list to get a free ebook about the Abracast Tarot Card Deck and other bonus content. Visit the storefront on abracast.com.
Saturday, March 28th, 2020. Saturday, March 28th, 2020. What's the condition my condition is in? Saturday, March 28th, 2020. Saturday, March 28th, 2020. Find out what condition my condition is in. I gotta make a note to add that to the playlist. Saturday, March 28th, 2020. Oh. 2020. Saturday. All right, here we go. God damn it, we see this fucking guy over and over again. I think we've seen this guy more than we've seen anybody else. Oh, sorry about that. Okay, our significator card. I think we're in for a rough Saturday. Our significator card is the 5 of Cups. I swear to God, this guy showed up more than any. I got to build a spreadsheet or something so I can do a pivot table and figure this out instead of just trying to rely on my memory. So this card is interesting, and I've waxed poetic about it a number of times through here. I think it's popped up like 3 times already. It's a guy in a black cape, and he's kind of like looking down, and he's worried about these 3 spilled cups that are in front of him. But he's not paying any attention to the cups that are still upright and behind him. He's not paying any attention to these fucking cups. And there's like a little stream with a castle in the background. There's like a little bridge, and someone forgot to color the sky between the archway right there. It's graphic designer great, bro. Anyhow, the problem that we have right now is that he is inverted, like Maverick. So Well, maybe that's a good thing now that I think about it. Waite would say reverse the Five of Cups is about family, forefathers, ancestry, a liaison, alliance, affinity, acquaintance, and I'm not going to say that, that last one. But basically it's a card of loss. So I think that we are, because all these things are kind of in past tense, the legacy, inheritance, succession, forefathers, ancestry, there seems to be kind of a past tense sort of vibe to it, which I'm nervous about. I'm really nervous about it. Okay, so the card that crosses this significator card is, he's a noble chap. We got the Knight of Pentacles, who is a utility, advantage, serviceableness, profit, interest, gain, importance, necessity. Because he crosses the card, he crosses the significator card, he isn't reversed or regular ways. So I don't know. Maybe I should do both sides, but I'm just going to stop there because maybe this dude is being maybe the significator is being pessimistic in spite of himself. Maybe he's being pessimistic against truthfulness. Maybe he can't see the advantages of what his obstacle is, I guess is what I'm trying to say. If the Knight of Pentacles is utility, advantage, serviceableness, interest, gain, here we go. Those are stock market words, or importance and necessity. Maybe this guy can't see what he's perceiving his obstacle as being something positive. I don't know. Maybe I'm stretching into the realm of interpolation. Okay, the third card, what crowns our significator card? We haven't seen this card yet. This is exciting. All right, so we got a Two of Cups reversed. Now, the Two of Cups is one of those cards where you look at it and you're like, what is going on here? It's got like two people. I guess it's a female and a male, and they got two cups and like this caduceus like staff stretching up between their two cups, and like this lion head with wings. Well, we're initiated. We know this is all about the fucking. Anyhow, what does the book say? What do the old tomes say about this? It's love and it's passion, it's inclination, it's attraction, it's concord, it's friendship, it's interrelation of the sexes. I told you so. However, we run into a snag because our card is reversed. So this is lust and jealousy. Maybe we have had this before. I'm having deja vu. Man, doing 5 or 6 of these like right in a row really bends your mind. Where was I at? Jealousy. Oh, there it is. Okay, so we're talking about here this guy's not appreciating what he has versus what he's lost. And this gentleman, the Knight of Pentacles, is all about utility and interest and gains. And he's crossing him. And then what's crowning the signifier is this sense of lust and jealousy, wish, desire. These motherfuckers are trying to find the toilet paper too. The card also might give, says A.E. Waite, the desire which is not in nature, but by which nature is sanctified. I think that means fucking. I think that means fucking. And I've said before that I think that we're going to see a baby bump out of this quarantine area, which is hilarious to me. Okay, here we go. Card 4. This is what is beneath the signifier card. This is what has started these chains of events. And this is interesting. We got another cup card right out the gate. We got 3 cup cards in a row straight down the middle. The signifier card is the 5. We got the 2 with these two fucking up here. And then now we got the 10 of cups. And it's upright. So what do we got? A town, a native land, a living place, residence, also citizenship. We've seen this on the Friday read, right? About immigration and travel. It also means a well-earned security, wise living, husbandry, being at ease, feeling safe. Wow, feeling safe. A person who's taking care of the querent's interest and maybe correct and actually presented in the shape of servants, shopmen, purveyors, the city, the birthplace, the physical constitution, the tabernaculum. Now listen to this. Medicine of body and soul, organic life of the body and in the community, practical social conditions. In weak cases, the house of Virgo may be or may cause irritability and agitation, aka or etc. A weak nervous system must avoid the full sway of emotions. I think everyone's worried about everybody else's mental state nowadays. Would you say that's true? Okay, so the 5 of Cups, which is our significator, because he is reversed, he's looking to the right-hand side. So we're in our same situation as we were for Friday, where the card in the 5th position is what is ahead. What is ahead? It shows the influence that is coming into action and will operate in the near future. And that card is, we just saw him. So I just flipped over the devil card, and we just got done talking about the devil card, where it's basically fatality for good or fatality for evil. And he's reversed, so he's fatality for evil. I don't know what to make of that. All right, so this is the card that's facing. This is the card that is behind our signifier card, which is the gentleman in the black cloak paying attention to the spilt milk. And here we have swords. I feel like I just took a turn into like conspiracy theory land. So I got the Page of Swords, who is reversed. And reversed is the more evil side of the qualities such as vigilance, Secret Service, a spy, an indiscreet person. So what we're talking about, would say, would be the unforeseen, the sudden, the surprising, the improvisation, acting or speaking without due preparation. Okay, well, I don't know. Are we talking about politics? If politics is finally seeping into this thing? I think I'm going to have to cut Sunday from this plan. I think we're just going to do Friday and Saturday. Just a heads up. Okay, so the 7th card, or the card in the 7th position, as I'm trying to get into the habit of saying, is the in the operation, this signifies the signifier card. This is the signifier, whether person or thing, or in our circumstance, it's our circumstance. And here's a good one. If I were ever to be trapped in a tarot card, this is the tarot card that I would want to be trapped in. This is what I'm saying, bros. I just flipped over the 3 of Cups, and you got 3 drunk fucking blonde chicks here, all like drinking and toasting and stuff. That's where I want to be. I need to be in there. I need to do assessing. Who has the hair tie around their wrist? That's a indicator. That's a pro tip for you single guys out there. You incels or whatever. You know who I'm talking to. So the 3 of Cups is success, happy issue, lucky solution, victory, accomplishment, cure, healing, fulfillment, matter of plenty and perfection and merriment. It's a good time. Favorable opportunities. Commercial and intellectual friendship success is a good issue of everything. It's good health. Eventually, recuperation, healing, being in good relations with people, lightheartedness, holidays, and joys. And I mean, just looking at the card, I'm thinking there's probably a blowjob or two to be in there. So we go to the 8th card, which is the environment. In our situation, it would be the environment, or maybe it's better to say it would be like the culture of the. Oh, it's a shocking card to flip over, but I mean, I guess it's okay, because this is the overall. This is where we are right now in this set of cards. This is sort of a snapshot of like our current events. So putting it in a perspective that way, I just flipped over the Tower card. So this is ruin, disruption, overthrow, loss, bankruptcy. I don't think I need to say any more than that. I think we're all worried about the economy. I think we're all worried about how we're going to pay our bills and get our our bill collectors to stop calling us and whatnot. I think we should all just get back to work pretty soon. So here we move on to my nemesis, the hopes and fears card. We've seen her before. I think this rings true. I flipped over the 2 of Swords, and she's reversed. So reversed, she represents falsity, imposture, lying, duplicity, bad faith, deception, and superficiality. I think that's easy to say, no matter what side of the political. So this is politics, bro, literally. And even with the blowjobs, you see what I'm saying? So whatever side that you happen to be on, you are seeing this same fear on both sides, I would imagine. And I'm going to flip this 10th card here, this last card, and this card is the best case scenario. And we've actually seen this motherfucker too. You guys don't know. I stop recording while I'm shuffling these cards because I'm terrified that I'm not shuffling them enough, but I'm landing on these same cards over and over again. So let's talk about this one. He's upright. He's the right way, which is important to know because he's a very positive card. I flipped over the 3 of Wands in like this best case scenario situation. The 10th card is what will come. It's the final result, the culmination, which is brought about by the influences shown by these other cards that have been turned up in this experiment. So let's talk about the 3 of Wands. Enterprise, effort, trade, commerce, discovery, usurpation. I think that is a brilliant one. I think by the time this is all said and done, there are people that are going to be like, why do I need to go to work? Why do I need to send my kids to this school? We need to usurp a lot of this power back from the government. That's my humble opinion. We're talking about daring, temerity, and also imprudence and interruption, the cessation, and listen to this, the end of troubles. This card has shown up at least one other time during this experiment. And I apologize because I did say that I was going to do up until Sunday in this episode, but I'm kind of spent. We kind of been running long, and I still need to do a little bit of administrative work on this episode. So I think we're going to end it here. I apologize. Maybe I'll go and edit out all the sun. No, I'm not going to do that. But if you guys are interested in this and what I'm doing here with this experiment, come join me on. It's on all levels of Patreon and Subscribestar. Literally, it's $1 a day or $1 a month, and you're getting all these at least for the next week. But it depends on how long this quarantine business has lasted. Anything that I want to mention? I got a birthday coming up, so I hope to survive until that happens. Also, what else? I got some new t-shirts lined up going into the store. I think one right now that I don't have, which is Pastor Larry's Institute for spiritual warfare, which was really fun to do. I've never drawn Pastor Larry seriously before, so that was really fun to do. Besides the mailing list, because of this current crisis, I can't predict what's going to wind up in the Fulgar Correspondentia. I'm hoping that I could get at least some fun stuff in there. I try to do some real fun stuff all the time. And then, like I said, if you're not down for this tarot card nonsense and you're like, I want to get back to my interviews, just hold on loosely, bro, with me. We're gonna get back to our regularly scheduled interview situation. Come back next week. I have a great interview for you next week, and it's already done. There's no way I'm gonna be able to fuck it up. So that's it. Thank you. Hey, and during this time, please be safe. Please take care of yourself and take care of each other. If you got some neighbors out there that if you've been listening to the show, I'm not getting along with my neighbor, but I'm still checking in on her, making sure she's got food and toilet paper and all this other kind of stuff. So, maybe this is something that one of these optimistic sort of tarot card readings can bring to the world, is a little bit of optimism and a little bit of, I think when this is all said and done, people might be a little bit more sharing, maybe like leave it on your porch kind of sharing, not so much fist bump, handshake, slap your dicks together sharing, but it's interesting, very interesting. And I'm just glad that you guys are all being safe and sound. And I'm sorry I couldn't do Sunday. I just can't do it. I'm burned out right now. God, is that a pussy move? I'm not sure. I mean, I think I did my best. I don't know. I'm sorry if I let you down. Hey, so listen, since I recorded this episode, which was yesterday, and by the time I'm posting this episode, which is tomorrow, I went ahead and I did create a spreadsheet with all of the data on here that I'm talking about. So you can download the spreadsheet and filter by card types. You can figure out how many times they've showed up in the spreads, if they were reversed or not, all kinds of information in there for you data-driven people. This is part of the experiment. It's available in the Fulgar Correspondentia site, part of the website. So if you sign into the mailing list, you'll get a link that'll take you to this part of the website, and there's a ton of bonus material there. And one of the bonus material towards the top of the page is going to be this download site where you can download this spreadsheet with this data. So let me know what you come up with if you guys start crunching it. I was something of a report nerd in a previous life, so I'm curious to see what kind of information comes out of this. So right now there's at least 4 days on there. And then I'm going to put the data from this episode, these 3 days worth of data, on there as soon as possible. But you can get to the website whenever you want. Thank you.
Thank you for listening, and we hope that you enjoyed the show. Please send an email or find us on social media and let us know what you think about the show. We would appreciate it if you would give us a 5-star rate and review wherever you find your favorite podcasts. You can find Stigmata Studios, graphic, novels, and comic books at apricast.com.